Welcome to a new special series called The Bathroom Break. That extra 10 minutes you either have to listen to marketing tips or use the bathroom or both. But I don't recommend both, but that's your choice.
This collab is going to be super fun. We have Daniel Murray from the Marketing Millennials and me, Jay Schwedelson from the Do This Not That podcast and subjectline.com. Each episode in the series, we are going to go over quick tips about different marketing topics. And if you want to be in the bathroom, fine, just don't tell us about it. Thanks for checking it out. The bathroom time is back. We are here. This is Jay Schwedelson. I'm with Daniel Murray from the Marketing Millennials. And before we get into talking about urgency, I'm urgent that I want to talk about what Daniel did this past week. You went to a medium. What is going on? What happened?
So I have a couple friends that did this and recommended this person who basically you just send a picture of your loved one and you FaceTime with them and they tell you all the things that your loved one that passed say to you. And the amount of things that they said that nobody would know about absolutely blew my mind. I actually am believing that this is a real thing, which is crazy. And I think you should do it. I actually think you should do it. I think you should do it and come back and tell me.
I want to ask you something. I don't know how big of a Looney Tune you are, though. Like, in general, going into it, would you be like me, like incredibly skeptical, like this is garbage? Or were you like, oh, maybe this is a thing and I just need to be like tipped over the edge? Like, where did you lean before you did it?
I was on the side when I didn't know anything about it as like, this can't happen. And then talking about marketing, I heard social proof from 3 people that were saying the 3 different things that were so true that happened to them. And they said, you have to do this, which is creating urgency right there, which we're going to talk about. And this was not a setup, but they were saying, oh, they said this, they said that, this happened 2 weeks later. It was crazy. So I'm becoming a slight believer in that you could talk to your loved ones.
I'm going to totally judge you from now on. Everyone judge Daniel for this because this is wild. All right. Speaking of wild, urgency. The number one thing that you can incorporate into your marketing that's going to change the outcome is to incorporate urgency. And a lot of times marketers think, oh, I have an offer that doesn't end. I have a service that I always provide. I have a webinar. How do you create urgency for any of this? And I'm here to tell you it doesn't matter what you are marketing, B2B, B2C, boring, not boring, you can create urgency. So Daniel, hit us with the first thing about urgency that you want to share.
I will start with a thing we did for Marketing Land. We did it when we launched Marketing Land, which was like 4 months ago, and it's in October 3rd. But to get the first 1,000 people in, we said, hey, the first 200 people who register will give out some sort of swag. And that's caused way more than the 200 because we said the first 200 in the next 24 hours. And then we also phrased it a little, we did kind of a test with this, which we did the first 200 and we also did another one that we said, we are going to pick randomly 200 people who register in the next 24 hours to do this. And that actually became more successful because I think people get scared that if they didn't read the email or something right then they're gonna miss out. So having a time limit and picking random people seemed to be the bigger urgency. But setting something up that they get, and it doesn't have to be a hoodie or whatever. It could be a free piece of content, whatever. But setting that up when we launched was a great way to get on initial 1,000-ish people into Marketing Land.
And just building on that, something that we learned by testing a lot. First of all, I think swag is incredible. Sometimes people say, oh, if you give out swag, let's say for a high-end B2B event, you're going to get not the right type of people, which is garbage. Everybody likes, a Stanley mug. Everybody likes a hoodie. I don't care if you're the vice president or whatever, or you're just a new person that joined a company. So don't buy into that. But what we learned that was really interesting was that if you're going to say, okay, the first person that we're going to pick a winner from this, right? If you say there's going to be one winner versus if you say there's going to be 25 winners, when we go above 10 winners for whatever it is that we're giving out, we see an exponential increase in the number of people that will sign up, that will register, that will do the thing. Because when you see, oh, there's going to be 25 people that get the thing potentially, you instantly think I have a real chance of winning. When there's like one winner, you say, we're going to pick one winner for this. Nobody really takes advantage of it because you feel like you have no chance. So it doesn't cost you a lot more to have 25 winners. So it's really random, but little things like that can actually move the dial. So what else you got, Dan?
I like to give an example of selling a vitamin versus a painkiller when it comes to urgency. And because you can use copy as urgency. And a lot of people, when they give a benefit of a product, they say, hey, this can protect your, let's say an IT software could say, this could protect your computers for years to come, versus flipping that and saying, hey, your computer is in a risk of a cyber attack today. You get the solution to protect you so you don't have an immediate effect right now. Which you could say, which could be the same product, but the solution is affecting something now. So copy is a great way to invoke urgency, but how you do it is invoke the urgency of their problem or their pain. And I don't say do this in a manipulative way. I say do it in a way that it actually, if this software is actually going to protect them from a cyber attack today, like why are you going to tell them in the future they're going to have like computers that are protected? So do something that test your copy as an urgency lever.
I think the best thing I got out of that was watching you try to say the word manipulative.
It's a hard word to say.
That was amazing.
Hard word to say.
Oh, I'll give you another hard word to say. I'm trying to spread the word on this new acronym that I'm using called FONF, FONF, around urgency. I think FOMO used to be the ultimate urgency, the fear of missing out. But now I believe it's FONF, which is the fear of not first. Companies like Aloe have done a great job. They do these color drops of certain colors of their clothes. And if you don't get it, you feel like, oh man, I'm not going to have that cool color. And one of the best things that we're seeing, for example, in subject lines of emails right now is starting your subject line with things like just released or just in. Anything where it's new. And it could be B2B or B2C, just released, new trends report, just released, our hottest product line for the summer, whatever. This idea of fear of not first as opposed to fear of missing out. Fear of not first is doing exponentially better than the traditional FOMO. So trying to leverage when you're bringing something new to market to make people feel like they're going to be missing out if they don't do it first is like, I'm all in. So FONF for the win.
Everybody, let's make this FONF go viral and see how it does. I also think another way to do that is, which I'm thinking a lot about, is using exclusivity as a way to create urgency, because you're not in a certain club that's doing something. So I think if you can show like the exclusive benefits that you will be missing out on if you don't get in early, or you get in, for example, people do this with memberships where you can either get in for a lifetime for a price, or in 3 months, it's going to go up to like $300 or $400. So using exclusivity and FOMF, like not being the first to be the first to getting in something. I also think as humans, we want to show off that we did something first. That's why we share news about things, because we want to be like the ones to share that. And then you don't want to, I think it goes hand in hand, which I think FOMS leads to FOMO, because you don't want to be the one who is missing out on not knowing the news. So I think those go hand in hand, but I like that. I think FOM sets up FOMO.
There you go. That's true. FOM sets up FOMO. I have a question for you about the medium as we wrap up here. I want to know the business. So now, did the medium, does she or he leave you with like is if you got to come back the next time and I'm going to tell you how your life's going to radically change, we have to give me a boatload of money. I mean, is there like a two-step process so they can get your money?
No, the craziest thing is this medium I went to.
Oh, you go to?
No, I've went to once. Is she doesn't have a website. She doesn't have social media. And the only way she gets people is if they meant to hear the message that she has. So her whole business is referral. So it's crazy that she doesn't have any of this stuff, and her business is completely. She believes that it shouldn't be marketed. Like if you meant to get a message, you'll find it through someone else that has got a message.
You got to bring her on Marketing Millennials. Bring her on your podcast.
That'd be great. I don't think she wants to market herself though. So, but we'll see.
That'd be wild.
We'll do a live session.
You should do that. Like bring an idiot like me on, and she could do like a live read. That would be wild.
I'll test it. I'll pay for it, and then you could see that you're going to hear some wild things. You might not want to hear some of the things they say about you. But,
no, I don't.
We'll see.
Well, this has been another amazing episode of The Bathroom Break. Hopefully, your bathrooming is going well. Make sure to follow Marketing Millennials and Do This, Not That. And find your local medium and let us know how it goes. We'll see you at the next one. Daniel, come on, man. I got to get back to work. Get out of there. All right. While he's still in there, this is Jay. Check out my podcast, Do This, Not That, for marketers. Each week, we share really quick tips on stuff that can improve your marketing. And I hope you give it a try. Oh, here's Daniel. He's finally out.
Back from my bathroom break. This is Daniel. Go follow the Marketing Millennials podcast, but also tune into this series. It's once a week, the bathroom break. We talk about marketing tips that we just spew out, and it could be anything from email, subject line, to any marketing tips in the world. We'll talk about it. Just give us a shout on LinkedIn and tell us what you want to hear. Peace out.
Later.